Welcome to the Chada Mecha live stream. I'm your host, Tim, the one and only Chada Mecha. It is Wednesday, and it is not Wu-Tang Wednesday. It is motherfucking Heisenflay Wednesday. Look at that. Look at that. Amazing. And look. Like one of my favorite parts. Oh, that is, ooh, that's so clean. That's so clean. I love this thing. Look at it. Look at this. It's so nice. And it's so soft. And you need one. Go buy one. It's well worth it. Like, I was super impressed with the print quality on this. Like, I only had so far, I only had the Mecha Army shirt and hoodie, and that's one color. You know what I mean? But this, ooh, like up close, you can see the different little shades of yellow and orange and, kind of that brownish tan color and everything. Like, you can see the really, really subtle differences and everything too. Print quality is awesome. It's awesome. So, yeah, I am a very, very happy little boy. Very happy little boy. Anyway, so real quick, you guys, if you're out and about, I don't know what you're doing, but if you're out there and you get the little hankering, or you get a little squirrely or whatever, go get you some. Because they're really good. And they make your model look better. They do. It's been studied, and Mecha Decals makes your model look 623% better, actually. It's been studied by many people. Don't ask who, but many people. So, there you go. Go get you some Mecha Decals. Anyway, also too, if you do want a Heisenflay shirt like this, shop.chadamecha.com. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I love this shirt. It's so freaking comfortable. Like, these new shirts, honestly, are my absolutely new favorite shirts. Like, I want to wear them all the time. And I'm not bullshitting you just because, they're my shirts or whatever. But, like, legit, they are the perfect weight. They are, like, the perfect softness. Like, the old shirts were really, really soft, but they were kind of lightweight, and they were long as shit. They were almost like dresses. And then the shirts before that were a nice weight, but they weren't soft. They were like scratchy and shit, and I hated them. So, but this new shirt, it's the perfect combo. It's the perfect combo, and it's just the right length too. So I'm very, very happy with the quality of these shirts, and the quality of the print is just, yeah, it's absolutely awesome. Anyway, with that being said, let's get caught up in the chat, because I know there's a bunch of folks in the chat. Let's take a look and see who we got. We got Bill. He says, howdy, y'all. Bill, how the hell are you, buddy? Good to see you. Let's see, Mr. Todd, Mr. Mad Havoc, he says, hi. Derry's with us. She says, hey, bitches and bros and non-binary hoes. Fuck, Derry just spit some bars, yo. Like, that's good. That's pretty good. Andrew says, evening. I was talking to Andrew about his Rick Diaz just before the stream a little bit, and looking pretty good. Derry says, how's everyone doing? So far, so good. It's a good Wednesday so far. So yeah. Todd says, have had a busy and frustrating week so far, and it's not done yet. Well, it's only Wednesday, Todd. Sorry, buddy. Let's see. Andrew says, working on cleaning up the parts to my master grade Hyaku Shiki at the moment. Got good weather for about a week, so I decided I'd try to get one of my projects done. Hell yeah. Todd says, missed yesterday's stream. That's fine. Life always comes first. As I always say, life be lifin', right? as our good friend Bailey has stated in the past. It's another good bar. Life be lifin', right? Bill says, doing. How about you, Derry? You seem to be in a good mood, hopefully. Mr. Blaze, what up, dude? He says, hello, all. Good to see you, guy. Bill says, or is it just that you are looking forward to Tim wearing his Wu-Tang shirt? The Wu-Tang shirt's dirty because I wore it over the weekend. I haven't done laundry yet. And I wanted to wear the Heisenflace shirt. I did. I wanted to wear the Heisenflace shirt. So, yeah. Andrew said, I'm going to say it's one of his new Titan stuff. Oh, shit. Here we go. Andrew got it, right? Andrew got it. Now, mind you, are we starting the shirt game? Because I don't have a lot of shirts yet that fit. You know, I have the Mecha Army one, and I have the two that just came literally yesterday. Oh, and the hoodie, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. I'll think that one over. Bill says, no worries, Matt. We just convinced him to put racing stripes and a giant spoiler on the Shiki. Half of that is correct. Yeah, half of that is correct. Let's see. Yeah, Bill wants to know what's the plan for the Shiki from Andrew. Hell yeah, right? Let's see. Blaze says, my vote is for the Reapers. I think that's what he'll be wearing. Don't forget the Macross Cannon, Bill. Macross Cannon? I don't know. Anyway, Todd says, really? Half of it is correct. Yeah, half of it's correct. Bill says, one of the local hobby towns had a buyback today. So they posted pictures of everything they took off of people. I was excited until I was looking through the master grades and noticed they were all ones you can get from Hobby Lobby for 40% off. Oh, that's busted, dude. That is busted. That's horseshit. I get the hustle, but it's still horseshit. You know what I mean? Fuckers. He said they had some P Bandai high grades and real grade kits though. At least some people were playing by the rules, right? Andrew says, well, when I bought it, I got Quattro version because the MP version hadn't been reprinted yet. I was planning on making the MP version of the kit, but now I'm thinking of doing a sleeper, Quattro's high spec parts, but MP color scheme. Okay. Todd says, I seen the tall geese joke, right? Bill says, cool beans. Oh, I forgot to mention the question of the day. Shit, yeah. Question of the day, kids. Question of the day. What's the hardest lesson this hobby has taught you? I'll go first. Patience. I mean, I had patience before, but still. Holy crap, man. To work on a project like we're doing, we're at this for, 3.5 months at this point? And we're getting there. This is probably one of my faster builds. You got to think that airdrop took about 8 to 10 months. Aussie about the same. And then the Hummingbird took 4 years. And there were many points in all of those builds where I just wanted it to be done. But I'm glad I didn't because, they all came out pretty good. And in the end. So, but Andrew answered the question of the day. He says, if you're struggling, look for help. Something that my pride tends to get in the way of. Oh, that's fair. I totally get it. Blaze says, question of the day. That's a toughie, but I would say looking for how to do something the correct way instead of always winging it. Okay. Now, what I would say to that is that there isn't always a singular way a correct way, right? There are many ways to get to an end goal, right? So you do have to keep that in mind, right? So, like, the things that I do, not everybody does. But at the end of the day, we get to the same point, right? So you do have to consider that there are multiple ways of reaching your end goal. But aside from that, yeah, you got to look for best practices. That's bingo. That's what I would say. Best practices. Bingo. Yeah. Andrew says, called it. Bill says, I have one of the 2.0 gold Shikis I got secondhand that I'm using for Kit Bash, and a new one still in the box. Nice. Todd says, nice. Lucky. Andrew. Todd says, and hi, Tim. Hi there, Todd. Blaze says, 20 out of 10 modelers recommend Mecha Decals. You're goddamn right. Julius is with us. He says, buy Mecha Decals now. Beat the rush because Christmas is around the corner. Right? Bill answered the question today. He says, it is sad how many people outside of the hobby look down on and make fun of people who have this hobby without realizing how many use this hobby for mental health. Fucking A right. Yeah. Fucking A right. I totally agree with that, Bill. Because this hobby the hobby's awesome. I love this hobby. I wouldn't have been in it if I didn't love it, for 25 plus years. And yeah, dude, like for some people, it's absolutely an escape from, real world bullshit. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you what, man, like streaming like this, like I told you guys in the beginning, that this kind of interaction for me was always really, really big, a big part of my life after I started it in 2018, right? And, it was, that kind of community, that camaraderie, that belonging, if you will. That was a big part of me. And when I lost that, and when I didn't have that anymore, a part of me was kind of taken away, So I totally agree with you, Bill, 100%. We can't control what other people outside of the hobby think of us. At that point, fuck them, Fuck them. If you don't like it, fuck you. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. That's my mantra, right? Derry says, I won't take credit for that entrance. You should. She says, I think it comes from a skating anime or something like that. Oh, well, it's still fucking dope, right? Yeah, see, Blaze says, Derry, take the credit. Yeah, 100% take the credit. Just take the credit. Just be like, yep, I did it. No one would know. They're gonna know. Julie says, be very, very careful with a hobby knife and try not to stab yourself in the side of the index finger. Nobody's done that before. Nobody. Andrew says, meant the Mastercard Rig DS, not the Hyaku Shiki, Tim. Oh, gotcha. Got the Shiki on the brain because of the live stream. No worries, man. Kelvin, sir, he says, who's that out there? Is it you? Nah, not you. Is it you? Well, hello, you wonderful people, and you as well, Tim. Oh, I'm not a wonderful person? Is that what we're talking about, Kelvin? Is it? Are you saying that I'm not a wonderful person? Are you saying I'm not a wonderful fucking ray of sunshine and rainbows? I love Kelvin's entrances. Anyway, Todd says, I didn't even do anything for my birthday last weekend, but will be going out for dinner this week. Hell yeah. Todd, happy birthday, buddy. Everybody wish Todd a happy birthday. Derry says, I am in a very good mood today. A lot of good stuff has happened. What? Sweet. Blaze, is your name pronounced Blazed or Blase? He says Blaze. None of that French pronunciation shit over here. Mr. Edwin RSA, he says, good morning. Edwin, how are you, sir? Eris is with us. He says, hello, Tim in chat. What's going on, bud? Todd says, question of the day, answer, never paint a kit without primering it. Yeah. Lesson learned the hard way, right? Boom. Blaze says, there are many ways to do the same thing, but I mean, like, not just snapping the parts off instead of using nippers as an example. Oh, yeah. And like I said, I think the correct way is somewhat limiting, but when you go for best practices, there you go. It's all encompassing, but you still want the kind of the better ways of all of it, right? Yeah. A little bit of an easier route, I think. Bill says, I have to disagree, Tim. My way is always the correct way. That it is. Edwin answered the question of the day. He says, do not wash your airbrush by washing them with paint thinner. It will ruin your O-ring seals. Yeah, abso-freaking-lutely. Yeah, thinner's bad, especially for your rubber O-rings and everything. Oh yeah, bad. I like, I use lacquer. So, your Mr. Color, lacquer acrylic. But, your Mr. Color, your SMS, your, Gaia, Tamiya to a point, right? And I just use alcohol, 91% isopropyl alcohol. It cuts right through everything. So, yeah. With acrylics, same type of thing. Alcohol is good. For enamels, I would question your sanity, but mineral spirits would probably do the trick. I don't know, because I never work with enamels except for the panel lining fluid, and that's just I just clean that up with good old lighter fluid. But aside from that, yeah, I'd definitely question your sanity if you're painting with enamels. Whew, boy. Everybody's saying happy birthday to Todd. He says thank you. Look at that. Nice. Derry says, I remember the first time I cut myself with a hobby knife, the blade slipped and cut almost a full inch into the tip of my thumb. Took it ages to heal. Yeah. Blaze says, yeah, that's why I put it in air quotes. There you go. Bill says, happy birthday, Mad. Very happy unbirthday, everyone else. Fair. Same to you, Bill. Derry says, didn't need stitches, though. Oh, shit. Okay. Thank you, Bill. Happy birthday, Todd. There we go. And we're caught up. Sweet. That didn't take long. Excellent. All right. So, kiddos, let's get to work, shall we? Let's go camera 2. Let's get the eyes on here. Let's show you kind of what we did here yesterday. So we did all this stuff back here last week and everything like that. And then yesterday, we got some really kind of good old scribing done here. You can see there on the sides, you can see that little line right there. That's only a 0.5 millimeter down from the top edge. So it kind of looks like a lid almost. And that's on both sides. We got some nice little notches on there just to make that look really, really good. But that is what we got done yesterday. And that was not easy. Simply because this part tapers this way. And then it also slopes down this way. So really the only kind of straight edge that we have to kind of go off of is this bottom here, right? So we had to scribe in our lines using using scribing jigs off of this consistent bottom surface here. And so we got our side little panel lines going there. Did that on both sides, and then connected those 2 points on the top part of the piece here, and then this little guy right here, this little top panel line, that wasn't easy. That was a little touch and go. That was probably the most complicated part because again, you couldn't use a scribing jig across here because of the taper, right? It would angle your line. So yeah, we had to do that in a couple different stages. Had to scratch kind of a guideline across here, so that we kind of know where our horizontal lines would go to connect the 2 side ones, and then that little notch, little hexagonal notch in there. We just used a small piece of Dymo tape as a stencil. So that's kind of how we did it. So little more complex than what you would imagine. But at the end of the day, it came out really freaking good, and I'm really happy with how that all looks and everything. So really, really good stuff there. All right, so for tonight, we're gonna get back on here and start to plate this up and figure out kind of what we want this shape, to look like and everything. I do want there to be some, step downs, some graduations, things like that, some slopes in here. But again, I'm not 100% sure what this is all gonna, how this is all gonna take shape at this point. So we'll figure it out as we go along. So, all right. With that being said, let me just grab something to drink here just first before we jump in. Oh yeah. All right. So let's take a look here. All right. So we definitely need to build these sides up a little bit more and make them more even. Let's see, will 1 millimeter be good enough? Let's see, here's the more kind of straight end here. Yeah, I think 1 millimeter should be good right there. Yeah, okay. I think 1 millimeter should be fine. All right, so with that being said, let's cut a couple. Is this going to be wide enough? Yes, that is going to be wide enough. All right, so let's cut a couple strips of this down. And we need to angle this edge to fit right in there, and that is good enough. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. The super glue that we use will fill that in, so I'm not overly worried about it. All right, so there's our first part there. Now, I do want to, I'm not gonna mess with squaring that off like that. I'll square it off like this. Boom. All right, let's see that. It could be better, but it should be good enough. Yeah, that's good enough. All right. Doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be good enough. Right there. All right, cool. So we got our 2 strips. Let's get our 1, 2, 3 blocks in here so we can have something to put everything on. All right, so now then, what I want to do... Oh, that's upside down, that's why. Okay. Some squeeze out that is being problematic right here. Okay. There we are. Other side I think looks pretty good. Yeah. All right. Cool. So let's get some super glue on this guy. There we go. All right. And then make sure that's placed nicely. That looks pretty good to me. Yeah. Good. All right. Let's kick that. Oh my God! Bill! with the $1.99 super chat. Don't forget your Bad Bone merch at the shop. Jump scare? Fuck yeah, I did. Jesus, jumped up Christ. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. And I did it in a little German accent. I went, "Oh my God!" That's funny as shit. I'm not gonna lie, that was funny as shit. Anyway, while we're here, let's get caught up with the chat. Andrew says, sliced the end of my thumb off before accidentally with a hobby knife, and also cut it deep enough to need to get stitches and an updated tetanus shot. Holy shit. Bill says, Tim, can you put it all together for us so we might be able to give suggestions on what to do for that section? In a moment. In a moment, yes. Andrew says, Tim drinks so much Coke on live streams, it's a wonder that they don't sponsor him. See, and that's the funny thing, because I only drink like 2 a day. And usually with dinner. So that's probably why you see me drinking soda at night, is because I'm usually finishing off my second one after dinner. So, but yeah, I don't drink a lot of soda anymore because number one, it's expensive. And number two, it's not the greatest. I get it. So I do drink a lot of water nowadays. Bill says he already turned down Red Bull. They wanted to give the Shiki some wings. Nice. Bill says, jump scare? A little bit. There he says, I'm back. I was talking with a cosplay artist that I was commissioning for a headpiece. Oh, nice. And Bill wants to know what costume. And Derry says, I once cut off the tip of my elbow before shaving my arms. Oof. I have very hairy arms, so I have to shave them regularly. Oh my God. And the elbow? Ow. 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 No. No, 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 no. All right. Let's get this other strip-o plastic on here. Oh shit, that's a little bit too much. That came out hot. That came out really, really hot. Oh shit. All right. Well, we'll have adequate squeeze out here then. Jeez. Oof. Just got some on my finger. Okay. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, let's get this. Man, that came out super quick. Anyway, some must have been right up in the, kind of stuck up in the tip or whatever. So I don't know, but we'll give that a second to cure. Alrighty then. Alright, so this should be good to go. Yep, let's just kind of wipe off the excess accelerator here. Get that all nice and cleaned up. There we are. Alright, so all right, so now we can start to trim this down. Good. Pretty good. We're getting there. Being that this is such a weird angle, gotta use the chisel blade a little bit.
because the normal blade isn't going to fit in some of these spots. So the chisel blade comes to the rescue quite a bit. Okay. It's good first pass. All right, we're gonna come back and sand that side down. For this, we're gonna need the chisel blade. So I am not left-handed. I'm not gonna try. Okay. Not too bad. Slower going, but still gets the job done. Yeah, not too bad. All right, so now that we've got that plated up, let's get this scraped down a little bit before we come in with the sandpaper. Yeah, that's good. Scraping it down like this will even out most of the inconsistency, any bumps and unevenness and stuff like that. So that's why I like to scrape it first. Okay, cool. So now that we've got that nice and scraped down, most of the hard work is done in terms of evening everything up. Now, what I do like to do is come in with some sandpaper and get this really, really nice and flattened. So okay. Okay. This piece of sandpaper has almost reached its end of its life here. So we're going to fold this in half. Give it a little bit more time to work. Nice. All right, cool. Sweet. All right. Very good. All right. So that's nice and even on the sides. So we're looking really nice. Looking really, really nice. Now, I feel what we need to do next is address this middle gap right here, right? Let me just even this surface out here. Yeah, okay. pretty good. That's pretty good. All right. Let's get caught up in the chat. Let's get caught up in the chat here while I'm contemplating things here. Yeah, there's a lot. Jeez. Okay. Let's see. Edwin says, I am good today. Like I said, I am paying off my sleep debt. Nice. 10 hours last night, and today feeling much better. Dude, yeah, sleep debt is a fucking menace, dude. I get caught up in that all the time. All the time. Let's see, Derry says it's the, oh, here we go. It's the head for a partial fur suit. It's probably obvious I'm a furry. Thanks to my profile picture. All good. All good. Bill says I cut back to 1 bottle of Coke Mountain Dew specifically per day. Just so happens to be a 2-liter. Fair. It's going to be my first partial. I've never owned a fursuit before, so I'm excited. Nice. Okay. Brian's here. He says, I am here. Hey, Brian. Mr. Lelouch. Yeah, Bill, I don't follow Warhammer 40K. So, yeah, I don't know what any of that means. Let's see, cut back mostly because of diabetes. Can't have anything with artificial sweeteners because every single one I've tried makes me sick. Ooh, that's terrible. Sorry about that. Mr. Pete, he's with us here. Mr. Almanacs. Morning, model citizens. 4:45 a.m. here and driving to work. Oof. Peter, be careful, man. Be safe. Be safe. Darius says, not much, just in a great mood. It's been a good day for me, so I'm spreading the joy. Hey! Bill says, my antidepressant pushes me over into being diabetic, so I have to take diabetes medicine as well. Aw, boo. Gio's with us. He says, hello, everyone. I posted pics of the progress I've done on the community post of the real grade tall geese. Nice, dude. Nice, nice, nice. I'll have to take a look at that here in a little bit. Andrew says, glad it's you doing that, Almanacs. I never could do mornings when I did work. Yeah, mornings suck. Pete says to, or Bill says to Pete, quit typing, or reading for that matter, while you drive, right? Let's see, Andrew says, go, Derry. Hopefully the artist brings your vision to life. There you go. Derry says, I don't remember whose birthday it was, and I'm sorry if I got your name wrong earlier, but happy birthday. That was Todd. Yeah, that was Todd. Mr. Mad Havoc. Yeah. Yep. Let's see. He says last Saturday, but thank you. Yeah. All right, so Andrew says, dang left shoulder just decided to start acting up. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry, Andrew. Hate it when that happens. Start using your right arm. There you go. Mr. Brian says, happy late birthday, my man. And Pete says, that is where dictated posts, speech to text comes in handy, Bill. There you go, Peter. Be safe still. Even still. Andrew says, I've been using both arms. This is the first. The left arm has really bothered me since the surgery. Oh, man. Brian says, well, glad to hear everyone's doing okay. Yeah, pretty good. Todd says, hope you feel better. No one's super chat right now. We don't need Tim to lose a finger the way he's using that chisel blade. Oh, no. I had control over it, so it wouldn't have been a big deal. But man, yeah, the jump scare from Bill earlier, that was funny. Todd says, I'm hoping to get mine this coming Friday, my Olfa blade. Nice. Let's see. Bill says, hey, I use jump scares for laughs. Hurting someone is not normally funny unless it is like the Three Stooges. Yeah, there you go. You get that Olfa easily mad. Yeah. Love me some Three Stooges, Todd says. Hell yeah.
Darius says, I use the Ray Studio hobby knife currently. Interesting. He says, I love the courtroom episode. Oh, those Three Stooges. I was just like, wait, what? A fursona. Persona. A furry persona. Come on, Brian. You're better than that, man. Come on. Bill says to Brian, it is the character that a furry adopts when they are dressed up and among other like-minded folks. Yeah. Darius says it's an anthropomorphic, say that 3 times fast, animals, characters that supposed to embody you to a degree, and a lot of people use them to make fursuits to wear. A fursuit is a costume you use to cosplay your fursona. There you go. Brian says, awesome. I've only seen one furry persona ever. Dude looked like a killer orca with gladiator armor. The fuck? I mean, it sounds kind of cool, right? Yeah, even Derry, she's like, honestly, that sounds like a really cool persona. Yeah, for real, right? Brian answered the question of the day. He says, everyone has their own pace and everyone's results have their own outtakes, both good and bad, pros and cons. Not one person can claim to be perfect. You're goddamn right. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. And that's the thing, man. A lot of people, especially beginners, want to or have a tendency to compare themselves or compare what their output to someone who has been in the hobby for years and years and years, right? And like I always say, I always say, never, ever compare what your output looks like to, say, what mine looks like, right? I have a massive experience advantage over most people being in this hobby for 25 plus years, right? So it's comparing apples to stadiums. Like, you can't, it's not even feasible at that point, right? So yeah, comparison will just be will just ruin you. Honestly, it will ruin you. So yeah, never compare your output, you know, your speed, your quality, your techniques, anything like that. Never, ever compare them to somebody else, because that will just rob your joy in this hobby. It really will. Really will. So good call there, Brian. Good call, buddy. Andrew said, if my body wouldn't overheat, I'd have a kitsune or foxkin persona. As I do overheat, I'd go mythological and do dragonkin. I have no idea what any of that means. I really don't, and I'm sorry. Let's see. Derry says, I have a couple. One was made by a friend. Okay, so by a friend, I think, and it's what's called a protogen. They are genderless personas grown in a lab and modified with electronics to survive in dangerous environments. Interesting. There's a whole culture to that kind of furry thing. I'm not educated in it. Let's see. Todd says Sunday through Tuesday, I'll be resting since I'm out every day this week. Got court in the morning, so I'll be going to bed soon. Gotcha. Yeah. Always rest up. Good call there, Todd. Derry says the protogen I own is dressed up like a biker, so that's pretty cute. Okay. Mr. George, Old School Gunpla, is with us. He says, hi, Tim and all. Georgie, how are you, buddy? Mike Dawson just says, just got home from work. Oh my God, Mikey. Long day? Seems like it. Brian says, I feel like an ancient presence in this chat for some reason. Oh, hi, George. LOL, just kidding, just kidding. Wow. Welcome, Michael and George, Bill says. Let's see, Bill says to welcome Michael and George. Yeah, and then George says, why, hello there, Brian, you youngin' you. He says, hey, Bill. Brian said, LOL, George, I bet you move like a spring chicken. I'm sure he does. Derry says, it'll be about 4 weeks till the head is complete, so it will be a while till I can get it. I have plenty of time to get a storage bag for it and space for it. There you go. Peter says, oh, hi, George. Insert random Father Time reference time here. Wow. George says, haha, Brian, wishful thinking. Oh, I know you move. George probably moves like a ninja. Like, stupid fast and stealthy and efficient. And if you're not looking, like, he will gut you. Or just chop you right in the trachea, right? You gotta watch out for those New Englanders, man. They're a wily bunch. Pete says, I've arrived, so can engage safely. There we go. George says, Peter, what's up, old man? There you go. Nice, Pete. In that case, welcome. There you go. Sorry, 4 weeks for it to get started. Oh, yeah. Yeah, by a friend. Sorry, I was messaging multiple people at a time. It's all good. George says, comparing output is just foolish, like comparing who reads quicker. Is it better at math, has more money, etc.? Just do you and have fun, right? Hell yeah. Mike says, I'm off this weekend and taking my brother to go see Spider-Man, and hopefully I can at least get a layer of primer down on this perfect grade new. Nice. Nice. George says, in a world of sloths, I am a ninja. Wa-cha-cha! Oh, Georgie. Hell yeah. Bill says, okay, I'm going to throw my 2 cents on this output discussion. Comparing is fine for learning and getting critiques, but don't hold yourself to another's standards. Improvement is a personal thing. That's fair. That is fair. I like that too. I like that too. All right. With that, let's figure this shit out here, man, because, like, I don't know what we're gonna do here. I mean, I kind of know what we're gonna do here, but I don't know how we're gonna do that here, if you get my meaning. You probably don't, but that's fine. All right, so first things first, gotta clean out some of this squeeze out here on this inside piece here. Right there. Come on. There we go. Now we got it. And then a little bit right there. There we go. Cool. All right. So that inside bit looks pretty good. Shave off a little there. All right. So I'm fairly happy with that. All right. Let's see what we need to do here. All right. So okay, that looks good. Nice and even. Yeah, very nice. Very nice indeed. Okay, cool. So
a little worried about how this would fit together. But I think we're in really good shape, honestly. Okay. Yeah. That contours nicely. All right, sweet. All right, that's a bit of a weight off my mind right there, so that's good. All right, so next we just need to fill in this bit here. Let's see, how wide is that? 4 mil. Okay, that makes it a little bit easier then. There it is. Is that it? Yeah, it's got to be it. All right, and that fits. Should fit nicely right in there. And it does. Oh yeah. Nice. Okay. Cool. Perfecto. All right. So, I think what I want to do. Is build up the middle here, and then once that's built up, start to shave this down to meet the angle here, right? This profile here, right? So this would be one flat surface going down, and then the arm would come out and all of that. I think that's probably going to be the best way for this thing to, you know, operate and all that and look. And would follow the natural lines of what's already there, because I didn't want to change them drastically, you know what I mean? So I think that's what we're going to do. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. All right, so I need a couple of plates here of 4 millimeter to go in this gap. And going to just shave this down a little bit so we have a little breathing room in here. Yeah, much better. Much better. Much better. All right, sweet. All right, we need a straight edge on this bad boy, y'all. We need a straight edge, and I think what we're gonna go ahead and do is just cut these to length, so that way we can just stack them and be done with it. Boom, straight edge. All right, cool. Right in there like that. Just get in there. Go to your home. There you go. Yeah, and then one more piece on top and we'll be fucking golden. Sweet. All right. Boom. Just like that. Square this edge up. Boom, right there. Let's get another length of this. It doesn't have to be super accurate. You know, we're not going for that. We're filling in a void. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket surgery. Boom. All right, cool. So I think 2 is good for now. We'll come back to it if we need to. All right. Super glue. Let's fucking go. All right. Little dab will do ya. Bloop. Right there. All right. And then clean edge. They're both pretty clean. Huh. Well, which one is more straight? There, that one. Okay, cool. Alright, and then press this little guy in here. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Very good, very good, very good. Do it again. Press that down flat. Yeah. Yep. Nice. Okay, cool. So we got just a mess going on right now. It's the ugly phase. And this is how you make the hot dogs, how you make the sausage. Nobody ever wants to see how the sausage is made, but it's the ugly phase. Boom. All right. We'll let that cure. Let's get caught up in the chat while we do that. All right. Let's see. Brian says, "Hey Tim, you ready for the new Gundam show?" No. Well, the show, I guess, yeah. I take that back. The show, I think it looks okay. I'm not good on the premise. I don't like the premise, the aliens and everything. It's just kind of whack to me. I'm not into it. But the mechanical design looks really good. I like the mobile suit, the Arax whatever Zero. I like the design of it. The model actually looks even better than the line art, surprisingly. I think the model itself, the 144, has better proportions, and I do like the shape and the design of the head and the kind of the face and the chin and everything. I do like that, actually. And the quality of the animation looks spectacular. Looks really good. So, yeah. I'm not hating on the design or the quality of the animation. It's just the premise I'm not into, and different strokes for different folks. And I did my little reaction video and all that, but yeah. Derry says, heading out. A friend is streaming on Twitch. Derry, take care. Brian says, George, how's the GOG build? Looking so far so good. I go back to George's live streams every now and then and just kind of take a look, and he's moving along pretty dang good. Mike Dawson says, about the whole comparison topic, I'm slower at building kits than Tim is. Haha, working metric tons of overtime and all. Oh, well, fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah. And George says, slowly but making positive progress, Brian. Thank you for asking. There you go. Bill says, bye, Derry. Brian says, that's good, George. I had an awesome idea for a custom jetpack using mini handheld fans for the propeller props, and I thought of your bill. Nice. Yeah, it is thruster surgery. There you go. Andrew says, I think the one thing of painting that pisses people off the most when I paint is how I do weapons. I refuse to give them a shiny metallic paint job because I would rather they look anime instead of real. Well, and honestly though, if you look at real like weapons, like rifles and handguns, I mean they're mostly
mostly just painted like black or like a gunmetal, obviously. You know, somewhat matte finish and everything and all of that. So, yeah, I mean, if you look at like realistic weapons, they're not flashy. You know, they don't have these crazy two-tone high contrast, you know, paint jobs or anything like that. And that's kind of how I like mine too, you know? So I'm right there with you, Andrew. Right there with you, buddy. Bill says, I'm still in awe of how adventurous George is in this build. Oh, yeah, right? He says, I still have never even wired up LEDs in a build. This man is putting motors for propellers on his, right? Right? Kelvin has a question.
We have a question.
Kelvin says, Tim, I was out for a bit. I think someone asked already, but can you do a progress mock-up next stream? We can do one a little bit later before we end, actually. So let's plan for that, right? Andrew says, speak for yourself, Tim. I'd love to see how real sausage is made. Tired of how many fillers are in what were once good brands, right? Bill says most firearms do not look shiny or metallic in real life. Exactly. And Peter says, sausage fest! Andrew says, yeah, but when I post pics of what I've built, I still catch shit for them not looking real. You know, Andrew, and that's the thing, buddy. You're not going to please everybody. So at that point, it's not even worth it. You know, there are such a myriad of you know, taste profiles. You know, and not even just in this hobby, but like in the world, right? It's, you can't please everybody. You can only please yourself, and in private. No, I jest, but no, I mean, you have to be happy with your own build at the end of the day, right? So fuck what anybody else thinks. You know what I mean? Like with this build, like I have had so many, you know, suggestions, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. And how many have I actually put into practice? Not many. Not many. You know, Julius's fuel tanks were one of the big ones. And then, you know, for the paint, Bill's suggestion for the racing stripes, you can't see it very well on there, but still, I dig those ideas, you know. But aside from that, I haven't put many suggestions into actual practice with this thing. So, man, just do what makes you happy with your own damn model, buddy. You know? And fuck what other people think. Bill says, getting and cleaning those casings is a pretty nasty thing. Trust me, some stuff from culinary school I never want to see again. Ooh, yeah, I can only imagine. Let's see. Sorry. Pete says, I see what you did there, Timmy. Please yourself in private. Daddy is proud. Yay, Peter is proud of me. I done good. Oh, shit. That's funny. But George says, Brian, go for it. And he says, thank you, Bill. Much appreciated. Hell yeah. And Peter says, what? All tactical weapons in the military are not chrome-plated? Exactly. Andrew says, not everyone carries around a chrome Desert Eagle or Colt 1911. Yeah, for real, right? Gio says, try doing ghetto gangster weapons, gold-plated, covered in diamonds, engraving on the handle. Shit, go all out. Oh my God. Actually, you know what? It would be funny, and I would never probably ever do it, but to have like almost akin to what we're doing here, the speed, you know, Shiki or whatever, but do like a lowrider version of a mobile suit, right? Like total, you know, East LA, lowrider, you know, kind of Chicano, you know, barrio, all the cool shit within that culture, right? All the cool shit within that culture just put into a mobile suit. That would look fucking killer, in my opinion. I'd never do it, but still, I think that would look amazing. It would look fucking dope. It would look fucking dope. Oh my god. Oh shit, it would be great. Anyway. George says, to quote DJ Hyper, anytime you play music for the crowd instead of yourself, you're fucked. Fair. That's fair. Brian says, LOL, laughs in maintenance bay rust. Only thing shiny military-wise is the scalp of my military chiefs. Yeah, for real. Bill says, to Andrew, not looking real can refer to details not looking to the same scale. Huge differences in colors without details on what exactly they mean by it shouldn't take to heart. Oh, you shouldn't take it to heart. Yeah. Totally. Burke's with us. Ha! Made it at the end again. He says, pinstripe a sweet with candy colors. That would be way cool. Oh, hell yeah, right? Some lowrider Gundams. That would be fucking killer, man. I would love that. Bill says, we still got 30 minutes, so you got here early today. Let's see, how goes the panel replacement of your house? I think he got it done, but also one other thing, kiddos, wish Burke happy birthday too, because it was his birthday just a couple days ago. Happy birthday, bitch. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. Anyway. Edwin says gold-plated pew. That either Sons of Dictator style or Cartel style. Holy shit, right? If you guys ever saw the awesome movie with Nicolas Cage called Lord of War. Oh, dude. It's so good. And it's such a Nick Cage movie too. He plays a arms dealer, and he sells to crazy madmen all over the world and everything. And then he started selling like guns to this African warlord and all of that, and it just is really, really good. So highly, highly, highly recommend that movie. It's so awesome. But that reminded me, Edwin, because in that movie, he gives the son of this warlord a gold-plated AK-47. Just, yeah. You couldn't get much crazier than that. Such a good movie. Highly recommend. Brian says, the Plow Whip. Lucky man. Andrew says, oh, the roof over our bathroom was leaking. Called out the roofer. Oof. All the roofer did was clean out the channel at where the siding of the second story meets the roof of the kitchen and bathroom. Oh, man, I guess it was overflowing or whatever. Yeah. Burke says, well, my panel has been replaced, sub-panel replaced, wires replaced, full grounding, kind of the works, really, even separate circuits for many things. Yes, my birthday was the day I had to replace it. Aw. Womp womp. Bill says, okay, lowrider Gundam with working hydraulic feet and playing low rider when you power it on. Candy green paint with gold pinstriping. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. And it was funny because this particular Kotobukiya plate, this is P133. Look at this. It's got, the shocks, and it's got the springs and all that. Like, this whole thing was made for a lowrider style Gundam, Somebody's got to run with that. I am not going to, but somebody should. It would be awesome. I'm just saying. Just throwing it out there. Gio says that's a good movie. The African guy goes, "Can you get me can you get me Rambo's gun?" And Nicolas Cage, 1, 2, or 3. That is classic. That is the classic. Yeah, he's like, "Can you get me the gun of Rambo?" He's like, "Rambo, 1, 2, or 3." Oh, it's so good. Such a great movie. Such a great movie. Andrew says roofer refuses to do any other work to the roof, says it's fixed. Called a contractor out that has done excellent work, said the roof needs to be replaced, not a channel cleaning. Yeah, well, sounds like you got a lazy roofer at that point. Andrew says happy belated birthday, Burke. Burke says the next community build off is lowrider themed build. That would actually be really freaking cool. I'm not gonna lie. That would be really freaking cool. Interesting. I'm gonna actually have to think about that. But he says thanks, man. Also, sorry about your roof. Yeah. Let's see. Edwin says when he negotiated with the African dictator and the boss shot the henchman. Yeah, now it's a secondhand item. Yeah, because you can't sell a fired gun, right? Oh yeah, that was good too. Because the African warlord just cocks the gun, spins the barrel, and he just goes click clack bang and just shoots one of his minions, and Nicolas Cage goes off on him, and he's just like, the dictator's like, what the hell, He's like, I can't sell a fired gun. Yeah, so good. So many parts in that movie are so good. Andrew says, damn it, now I want to find another gun tank. Low rider gun tank. Oh, yeah. That would be dope. Burke says, Dozel Zaku with the gold trim already fits. Yeah, it kind of does. And what McCuve, if you've ever seen his, what was it, a custom goof? Kind of same. Bill says, okay, new solo Ghost Rider movie has Ryan Gosling in it as the new Ghost Rider. I like the casting. Quite a lot. I saw one dude online mention Norman Reedus would be a better, darker kind of casting, and I kind of agree with it. Norman Reedus would be a dope as fuck kind of dark, if they went the dark route for Ghost Rider, I think that would be cool. Kind of his brooding and everything, like, the whole, kind of Daryl Dixon vibe and all that. I think that would be cool, but I don't hate Ryan Gosling in this. I love Ryan Gosling as an actor. He's super talented, very, very fucking funny, can act his ass off. So I'm not mad at it. I kind of want to see how they take it, though, because we're probably going to get a Midnight Suns at some point, and I'm here for it. So we'll see. Peter says, I wonder how the lowrider bounce would be implemented to look cool and not just a bipedal mecha doing jumping jacks. Yeah, right? That's for somebody to figure out, right? Let's get it, Pete. Let's get it. Do it. Andrew says, I don't remember the name, but we have the next Black Panther as well. Oh, yeah. Damson. No, not Damson Idris. Shit, what was that kid's name? I forget, too. Somebody will get it. But they actually did a side-by-side, like half of oh, God, what was the dude's name? Shit. Fuck. Boseman. Boseman? What was his name? What was his first name? Chadwick Boseman. Yeah, sorry. Brain fart. Yeah, Chadwick Boseman. There you go. Look at that. Bill and Andrew both, kind of came together and multiple assists. Chadwick Boseman, they did a side-by-side with the new Black Panther, and it's supposed to be T'Chaka, which is T'Challa's son. They did a side-by-side, like half and half of their faces, kind of compared, and oh my god, like super dead on. Like, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. So yeah, pretty good casting, I think. Bill says depends on which Ghost Rider they're doing. It's definitely going to be Johnny Blaze. We know that. Although I think they should have stuck with the what I forget the. I'm not big on Ghost Rider, I'll be honest with you. But the version that they had in Agents of Shield, the one that drove the car and everything, I forget the dude's name, but that version was awesome in Agents of Shield. It was great. So I really like that version of Ghost Rider. But Johnny Blaze with Ryan Gosling, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Brian says combine Gundam with code Gaius Nightmare frame rollerblades LOL for the lowrider feel. There you go. Andrew says true. Midnight Suns was announced a while back with the guy from Shield. Oh yeah, way back, right? And I think that's what I was talking. Robbie Reyes, thank you, Andrew. Robbie Reyes, yeah, he was awesome. The kid that did Robbie Reyes, he is the brother in the Last of Us series, and he's like the head of the town or whatever that they're currently in, and in that, you know, in the previous season. So he's older now, which sucks. They lost their window, but I still dig the whole Robbie Reyes vibe. Peter says, watch Ryan Gosling in Drive again to see him do Dark and Brooding. Yeah, and it's been years since I've seen Drive, and I only saw it once, but yeah, and a lot of people say that too. Bill says, but Drive was the absolute worst movie I've ever seen. Oh shit, that's not good. That's not good. Anyway, all right. Let's do this. Let's try and get a little bit more work done, and then we'll put the Shiki together for you guys and kind of give you a overall kind of update. Let's get this super glue squeeze out cleaned up here. And I don't know why. I mean, honestly, I don't know why I'm cleaning this out, because we're just going to trim this down anyway, so. Womp womp. But, yeah, I'm doing it anyway. Okay, so with that, let's get the Dremel going here, and let's do some dremeling. All right, hold on to your butts. All right. Good enough. Good enough. Just wanted to get the bulk of that plastic off of here. Yeah, okay. And you can kind of see how that's starting to shape up, right? So we're gonna have this nice, even, you know, kind of sloping surface here that will wrap around the arm. So I think that will look really, really good. All right, cool. So with that, let's start to kind of go manual here. I think I need to change the blade. It is feeling dull.
and it is becoming a little bit of I feel a little resistance building there, so it's a good time to swap the blade. Go, close that up. Back in the drawer. All right. Now we got a nice fresh blade in here for our trimming here. Yeah. That's good. Oh yeah. Yep. There we go. That's what the doctor ordered. Very good. Very, very good so far. Okay, that's pretty good. Now then, let's do a little bit of filing. Let's get this a little finer file in here. Yeah, okay. Sweet. All right, so now I'm gonna switch to some low grit sandpaper to really even this out and just make this surface just baby butt smooth. There ain't nothing smoother than a baby butt. Okay. Ooh, yeah. Passes the fingernail test, that's for damn sure. Nice. Nice. Now we need to figure out kind of the transition here between our plating and then the bits that we did last week. And we'll get to that at some other point. We won't worry about that necessarily tonight. But so far I'm liking what we got going on here. Just kind of do a little scrapey. Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. All right, cool. So time 11:45. Let's do. Let's get a. Covered in plastic. Let's get a. Let's get a brain fart out of my head. Update on the chat. That's what I was looking for. There we go. Andrew says Norman Reedus should do a Carter Slade version of the Ghost Rider. Excuse me. Take over for Sam Elliott, the OG Carter Slade. Dude, Sam Elliott is the GOAT. Peter says, not asking to love the movie, but Ryan got dark in it. Yeah. I need to go back and watch Drive. I really do. Brian says, I'm going to need a cosmic Ghost Rider if Ryan Gosling gets his own set of movies. He's done amazing work on sci-fi / space movies already. Yeah, right? Can you imagine if they did the Ghost... and they'll never do it, but the Ghost Rider Herald of Galactus version? Holy shit, that would be dope as fuck. Ghost Rider riding around on a intergalactic chopper with his little fish bowl over his head and everything. That would be cool as shit. Todd says, I'm off, guys. Hope everyone has a good night. Todd, take care, buddy. Take care, man. Andrew has a question.
We have a question.
He says, is the end of the block that you added going to host a vent pointed downwards? You mean the block that I just shaved off? that is no longer existent. Probably not. No, it's probably just going to be flat surface because we got the vent here. We got our little X plate here, so just something. I just want this to be kind of plainish in the realm of being plain. Yeah. So there's that. And it's not raised too much above what it was before, so I still really, really dig it. Really dig it. So, yeah, this right here, it's just going to be plain surface. We might do some scribing on it because there are some features that should probably wrap around and things like that, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that later. We'll jump that hurdle at another time. Yeah. Excuse me. Bill says, let's be real. Gosling's best movie role was the kid in Remember the Titans, where he tried to dance to country music and convince his black roommate it was better than soul music. Oh my God, I forgot he was even in that. He had a little bitty part. I think, what was he? He was the... Was he the quarterback? Like the first quarterback? And then the California kid came in and took the job, and then I guess, what did he become, like running back or tight end or something like that? I forget. It's been so long since I've seen that movie too. Andrew says, I don't think I've ever watched anything with Ryan Gosling. Oh yeah, you have. Yeah, you have. It's hard not to. Brian says, La La Land and The Notebook were his best works, truthfully, and that's because he's known for rom-coms. Kind of. Andrew says, Tim, a fresh blade to trim the fat off the goose. Yeah, exactly. Andrew says, Tim, are you filing that under a whip or complete? Or this is all still work in progress, yeah. Peter says, Gosling was especially funny in The Nice Guys. Oh my God, yes. That was a great movie. It's a great movie. Yeah, Bill says Project Hail Mary and Crazy Stupid Love were both good movies with him in it. Some people loved him in The Notebook, Barbie, or Drive. If you, and you probably haven't because it didn't do too well, but the one movie he was in with Emily Blunt, and also the guy that played M'Baku, Wilson. I forget his name. Great actor, by the way. M'Baku from Black Panther. They were all in the Fall Guy movie. Basically, a modern take on the Fall Guy TV show from back in the day. It was surprisingly good. I was shocked. I just threw it on one night because I was bored out of my gourd, and I was just like, fuck it, let's watch it. And I watched it through, and it was good. It was really freaking good. So if you haven't seen the Fall Guy movie with Ryan Gosling in it, I highly suggest it. It's actually really an enjoyable movie, and funny too. So I was kind of surprised by that, but yeah, it was really good, really, really good. Let's see. Andrew says, "Oh, that was him in Project Hail Mary. Didn't realize that." Yes, it was one of the best movies. Mike says, "My Cosmos LED for the Perfect Grade New finally shipped today. I've been waiting for that to build the head and torso since Bandai made it almost impossible to disassemble the torso after it's built from reviews." Oh shit. Andrew says, "Good luck with that set, Michael. I love the Cosmos set for Master Grade MGEX Unicorn. Yeah, that block. Anyone going to see the new Spider-Man movie this weekend?" I think, who was it? I think Mike was taking his brother. Yeah. Corner. I don't know. You lost me, Bill. Just corner, random. Let's see, Daniel, what's going on? B71. Wasn't Cosmic Ghost Rider a version of the Punisher? Oh God, I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy. I'm not super big on comics and shit. I just watch some of the videos on YouTube where they like summarize and things like that. Like I went down the rabbit hole today while doing some work about Battle World and the history of that and everything, and I was just like, oh, that's kind of cool. So yeah, I didn't know a lot about Battle World, but now I do. So he becomes the corner. The corner? A coroner? A coroner? Not a coroner. A coroner. Is that what you're... I don't know. Oh, he becomes the cornerback. Cornerback. Is that what you're talking about, Bill? I think. I hope. I don't know. Cornerback. Yeah, okay. Cornerback. He becomes the corner. I'm like, corner? What the hell are you talking about? The corner? Anyway. Briggsy! Ryan was in the Barbie movie, and people say he made that movie worth watching. Yeah, kinda, yeah. He was good in that. He was actually really good in that. Andrew says, okay, I have seen him before. First time was in First Man as Neil Armstrong. I haven't seen that movie, but I have it on my Plex. Shows how little I pay attention to actors. It's all good. George says, Gosling made great waves in Half Nelson. Loved it. Interesting. I've never heard of that movie. I have to look that up. Peter says, wasn't Ryan Gosling also in Only God Forgives, a highly underrated movie? I've not seen that. Not seen that either. Bill says, I can't bear to watch any more movie remakes of shows from my childhood. Yeah. Unless they do it right. Like, Master of the Universe, done right. I liked it. It was a fun movie. Gio says, we went from Lord of War to The Notebook. What's next? Devil Wears Prada. Right? Yeah, there we go. Michael says, yeah, this weekend. He's going to see Spider-Man with his brother. Hell yeah. Bill says, the Transformers movie 40th anniversary is playing this fall, and they are adding stuff in it. What? Don't do that. Don't do that. That movie was perfect. And it was my childhood. I remember seeing it 40 years ago in the fucking movies with my father, who did not give two shits about Transformers and whatever. But I wanted to see it, and he took me because he had visitation that weekend. Anyway, oh yeah, I guess I read it without highlighting it. Sorry, Bill. But Bill says also Gosling starts as the QB, then goes in as corner when the other guy gets benched. Yeah. Well, and the California kid came in and took the quarterback role, right? I think. Peter, yes, he was and EP'd it too, like Refn, but not this film. Sorry, I don't know. Peter says, speaking of remakes, just watched the trailer for the Michael B. Jordan remake of the Thomas Crown Affair. How many times are they going to remake that poor movie? I really enjoyed the Pierce Brosnan version of that, and I saw that I saw that trailer on YouTube, but I haven't actually watched it. I just saw that it was listed, but yeah, I want to go back and take a look at that. So, yeah, Michael B. Jordan could be interesting. I like Michael B. Jordan. He's a great actor. Edwin says, yes, that Cosmic Ghost Rider is Punisher that went back alive after dealing with Mephisto, but everyone's dead and he becomes Galactus's herald because, hey, nothing else to do, right? Well, fuck it, right? Why not? I mean, if you're alive and everybody else is dead, then shit. Yeah, I'd do that. I'd make that deal. That's a damn fine deal. Little Inglourious Bastards reference there for you. Andrew says, I have a T-Mobile ticket offer for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Just need to get paid. There you go. He says, I heard that they were adding a post-credits scene to the Transformers movie, nothing else. Oh, okay, cool. Whew. I hope that's it. Bill says, yep, they are adding deleted scenes, and something was teased with Prime floating in space, Gray, and his finger twitches. Oh, shit. They're going to fuck that movie up. WD 30th, they're over there on YouTube. They say they're going to add some new animated footage after the credits for the 1986 animated movie. Oh, shit. Okay. I mean, I really, really hope it's just an after credit thing and not like a crazy, like, don't fuck with it. Come on. Just let people have their childhood, man. Let people have their childhood trauma. Like, I was 8 years old when I saw that movie, and that movie fucked me up. Like, I didn't know Prime and everybody that I knew and loved from the TV series was gonna fucking die. Like, come on, man. Let me have my trauma from the 80s. George says Refn was the director of Only God Forgives, known for the Pusher series. Pusher series, interesting. Okay. Let's see. Andrew says that will be the second remake of the Thomas Crown Affair. I have both versions that are out now on Plex. There you go. Gio says, here's a challenge. Name a fairly recent comedy movie. Shit. Now, you see, you put me on the spot here, Gio. You killing me, bud. You killing me. I mean, Project Hail Mary is kind of a comedy. Has comedy-esque vibes to it, I guess. Shit. I'd have to open up my Plex to really see what's there. But yeah. There's been some comedies out. Pete says, ooh, haven't watched the Pusher trilogy in forever. Absolutely loved those movies. I have to look this up now. Bill says they would be retconning season 3 if that's the case. He was entombed on an asteroid with other Autobots that were killed in the movie before being reactivated by the Quintessons. Yeah. Huh. Bill says, Tim, don't forget to show an update on how the build is going before we sign off. Yes, good call there, Mr. Bill. All right, let's get to putting that together then. It's because it's going to take me a couple moments here. Let's see. Let's get this leg apart. Pop this guy back on there.
Now, mind you, there's still a lot of like details and stuff like that that I have to duplicate. So what you're probably going to see is one side being more finished than the other side. So just FYI there, kiddos. FYI. All right. Let's get the feet together here. It's going to be a pain in the dingus. There we go. All right. Oh, this goes on. Okay. Forgot how these feet go together. The feet are such a weird part on this model because they have such odd angles that they get put together in. So, yeah, pain in the butt, but what are you gonna do? Okay. Wait. Okay. No, that's upside down. Is that how? Is that it? Yeah, there we go. That's what we're talking about. There we go. Okay. Yeah, at some point, I think we're going to have to come back and revisit some of these parts so I can duplicate the details on some of these. Just because I just haven't had time to duplicate a lot of this stuff that I've done. Okay. All right, cool. All right, feet are together. Legs are together. There's that side. All right. Standing, excellent. And side skirt, inner armor. Yeah, because I got like like the inner armor or the side skirt armor there that we did, and then this one is still completely blank. So obviously, very, very mismatched in terms of you know, details and overall aesthetic weight. So that's one of the big ones that I have to duplicate, right? Okay. Thankfully, these shoulders just slot on with a little C-shaped connection there. Okay. Good. All right. And get the head on here. All right, so there's the main portion of that. Get the backpack together. Get the inserts in here. Thruster bells, don't forget those. Very, very important. Where'd the other one get to? Where'd the other thruster bell get to? I don't know, it's here somewhere. Get that guy on there. Get these. Come on. Oh, there we go. That's why. All right, so where is the other thruster bell here? I don't freaking know. Get our shield popped in there. It's around here somewhere. It's gotta be. Oh, here it is, right here. It's hiding behind my pin vise. Got that. All right. And then we need our little fuel tanks here. That one's... Yeesh. That one's a bit tight. Let's swap that out. Yeah, much better. Okay. Backpack is in. And then, last thing is the gun. There it is. Yeah. All right, fine tuning on some of these parts, but yeah, so let's give you guys a preview. There is the Shiki so far. The gun, super nice. All the detailing work we did on the front skirts, especially that side skirt there, all the nice details on the shield and everything, all the details on the legs that we did, and then all of the nice scribing on the feet, those little toe notches. Those are looking good. Let's go camera one and I'll hold it up. So, there's kind of, here, let's get Bill's comment out. There you go. So there he is so far. Yeah. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, so far so good. I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this guy. So I think he's got a great silhouette. The combination of, you know, details, changes, kit bashing, you know, scratch built parts and things like that. I think it all comes together really, really nicely. Yeah, and that profile there with the boosters kind of tilted inward a little bit, right? I mean, hell, we could even punch him in just even a bit more there if we wanted to. I think it doesn't look great, but, you know, you get the point. I think that's better. But yeah, there's the Shiki. Speedy Shiki. So far so good. Yeah, so far so good. Anyway, let's get caught up in the chat. Let's see. Edwin says coming soon. Coyote versus Acme. Yay. Andrew says last comedy movie I watched had to have been the Hangover trilogy. Jesus, we're talking years and years ago. Bill says Andrew, supposedly they are planning to make some new show in season 3 of G1 will be ignored going forward. What? Fuck that. Peter says, well, I think technically The Devil Wears Prada 2 is a comedy. I would agree. Bill says season 3 of G1 has gone in the face of the official storylines that they came up with for decades, and it has fallen out of favor. Yeah, season 3 was kind of just whack, in my opinion. When I first, as a kid, going through season 1 and season 2 of, you know, the G1 Transformers, just classic. And then seeing the mockery that they made of season 3 was just like, what is this shit? And then Prime comes back to life, and I'm like, what are you gonna do? Because you just set up Rodimus as a Prime. What is he gonna give the Matrix back to Optimus now? Like, fuck out of here with that shit. It was just stupid. Stupid money grab. But that's how 80s cartoons were back in the day, so
can't knock the hustle. Mike says this waist section is a master grade in and of itself, like a Sazabi Verka. Jeez, he's talking about the perfect grade new, I guess. Andrew says, well, fuck, if they retcon season 3 and 4 of G1, there goes my childhood. Well, we still have season 1 and 2. So there you go. Bill says it was retconned decades ago. Too many of the storylines go counter to the unified history of the Transformers now. Andrew says, I just wish the Transformers movie prequel Scramble City would get a proper dub. And to me, the friend continuity goes G1 and then Beast Wars. We don't include the Marvel Comics stories in that timeline. But as AU, Bill says, so my understanding is they made a push to have one history since every toy, show, and comic presented conflicting things. So parts of everything got retconned to make one storyline. Yeah, they need to have one thing. Bill says, then they started making branching universes from that. That's not confusing. Mike says, sheesh, almost an hour to build the perfect grade news waist section, LOL, and the frame isn't even put together. Jesus. Yeah, that thing's a monster, dude. Mike says, put together 100%. There you go. Yeah, it looks like Bill and Andrew are talking Transformers. I'm going to power through. Andrew says the head looks a bit like a fighter pilot's helmet, Tim. Yeah, a bit. I dig it, though. Julia says, Tim, any thoughts about changing out the red tubes on the backpack for a set of springs and power beads? Otherwise, I think it looks fantastic. No, actually, I like the details on these hoses quite a lot. Because they are actually fairly nicely detailed and everything. So I kind of dig it. So I'm going to keep these intact. So yeah, I'm going to keep them as is. Plus, I like the look of them as it is right now, because they have the curvature does look like it's kind of sagging in the middle, almost like a somewhat realistic hose would be. I would be afraid of replacing it with actual springs and everything, that it would just arc, normally like a spring would. So I kind of dig these a lot. So I'm gonna keep the hoses as is. Let's see. Kelvin says, "Oh, Shiki, nice look, right?" Thank you, Kelvin. I appreciate that, bud. George says, good night, Tim and everyone. George, take care, buddy. Let's see. They're still talking about... they're still talking about Transformers. Yeah. It's all good. We're going to power through that. So, anyway. All right. Kiddos, it's 12:19. I have a ton of shit that I got to get done. So, with that being said, we're going to punch the clock for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow, noon Eastern. And if you guys are out and about, make sure you go pick up some... because they're really fucking good. And they will make your model look good, too. Also, if you didn't notice, I'm wearing the Heisenflay. Yeah, the Heisenflay Titans Test Team shirt. Just got this yesterday from Child of Mecha Store. Shop.childofmecha.com if you want one of these. They are awesome. The detail is amazing. The color representation is perfect. Perfect. And the shirt is super comfortable. Instantly one of my favorite shirts. Shop.childofmecha.com. Go support your boy. Aside from that, we will be back tomorrow. Briggsy says, "Bring back the Guess My shirts." When I have kind of shirts stockpiled, I will absolutely do that, because that was actually really a lot of fun. But yeah, we'll definitely do that. As it stands right now, I only have really 3 shirts that fit, and the 2 I got yesterday and the Mecha Army one. So that's literally my collection right now as it stands. So when I get more shirts, yeah, we'll definitely do that. We will definitely do that. So, but anywho, all right, kiddos. We're going to call it a night. I'm going to punch the clock. I will be back tomorrow at noon. Come on back if you can. Otherwise, for you night crew, I'll see you on Friday. So be safe out there, guys. Have a great rest of your evening and go build something cool. So stay tuned for the end credits, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.